Okay, so now I'm going to explain to you how to differentiate x squared by first principle. Okay, so what we know is we know how to find gradient of a line, but we do not know how to find gradient of a curve at one point. Okay, so I'd like you to draw 2 points on the curve x squared. Okay, put the 2 points here, P and Q. Okay, then form this triangle here. Okay, so when we measure this triangle, I put P and Q at when x is 1 and 2. Okay, so when I form this triangle, I find that the length in the x direction is 1, in the y direction is 3. So I can find the gradient of this line PQ. Okay, what's the gradient? 3 divided by 1, so the gradient is 3. So now I want you to imagine what happens if the triangle gets smaller and smaller, when P and Q get closer and closer to each other, until finally Q comes to the point P. When that happens, I will get the gradient of the curve at the point P. So I'd like you to look at the screen, and then you see what happens to the gradient as Q approaches P. Okay, so now Q gets closer and closer to P. Okay, so now the triangle gets smaller and smaller. Okay, so you find that the value also decrease. Okay, smaller and smaller, but the gradient is still the y value divided by x value. Y value divided by x value. Okay, so I'd like you to look at this value of the gradient and tell me, eventually when the x and y direction both become 0, does the gradient become 0 or not? Okay, that's the value gets smaller and smaller. And look at the gradient, now it's 2.3 something, 2.2 something, 2.1 something. Does it become 0 eventually? What does it become? Can somebody tell me? Yeah, it won't become 0, it becomes 2, correct? Yeah, so eventually the triangle becomes so small that it disappears, and P and Q become the same point. Then now the gradient is exactly 2. Okay, when I take the limits. Okay, so that's how we derive the gradient of a curve at one point. Okay, so it turns out that the gradient of the curve x squared when x is 1 turns out to be 2. Okay, this is called first principle. Okay, thank you.